Good afternoon guys from Tavistock Square, London. I am here today because tomorrow morning I am doing the London to Brighton run, and not in a vintage car I might add, but yeah, on the coach. You probably won't be surprised to hear. It's with National Express and it's their NX25 service, which is going to take about 3¼ hours from right here in the middle of the capital down to the south coast. Now, before I head over to my hotel for the night, I wanted to tell you about Busbud, the trip comparison and booking company that specialise in intercity bus travel in over 89 countries, including of course here in the UK. Busbud is my go-to app when searching for and comparing different services and different operators. Punching in the origin and the destination, then the date you want to travel will bring up all the operators and services on that particular route. Now scroll down to roughly when you want to depart and select the operators on the service. As you can see, it's just National Express for the London to Brighton route, and you click through on the one that you want. Then you get handy maps and luggage allowance, plus all the facilities available on the coach. All the usual payment methods are available. You get instant confirmation when you book, and your ticket is available electronically, so you can produce it for inspection as and when required. And another advantage of Busbud is that every booking made earns Go Credits, the Busbud reward program that awards travel credits each time you complete a journey. It's free to join, and starting at bronze you can progress all the way up to platinum, earning Busbud credits along the way. And what's more guys, you can add a further 5 authorised users to your account, meaning that your rate of progress to higher reward levels can be pretty quick. And quite simply, the more you travel, the more you save. So what are you waiting for? Download the free Busbud app, register your details, and just like me, you can start enjoying the benefits that Busbud has to offer straight away. Right then guys, so the plan is go and grab something to eat, then I'm going to head over to my hotel room, catch an early night, and I shall see you tomorrow morning at the iconic London Victoria coach station. I'll see you in a bit. Right guys, Victoria coach station just behind me there, and yeah, it's not a bad morning for it really. What we're going to do is just head inside, find out which stand the coach is going from, and we'll get ready for the journey. Come on. Yes, the iconic London Victoria coach station, and even in the greyness of a Monday morning, it just looks stunning, doesn't it? You simply must go through the front entrance here, not just because all the departures are displayed in alphabetical order here, so you can easily find your coach, but also because it's just such a classic design, isn't it? And to be honest, compared with the rest of the coach station, this is definitely the most attractive part. Right, well, according to the board there, we're going from gate 4, which is a new one for me. I'm normally going from the higher numbered gates. So yeah, it's not far to walk, is it? Let's go and find out. Quite busy I thought today. A note here, what looks like a dedicated Flix bus stand. I haven't seen that before. I wonder if Megabus have got them too, further along.
Gates will close 2 minutes before departure.
Right here at stand 4, and there's quite a few people here with lots of luggage, and the reasons for that will become clear a little bit later on. But our coach is already here, just over there. It's here at the Brighton NX25 service, BV72 XGC. So yeah, looking forward to this. Got my provisions, 25 minutes to go. Well, my theory regarding the suitcases was completely blown out of the water when, with about 20 minutes to go, our driver made the first call for boarding, and just 2 people stood up, myself and another lady, and we sheepishly made our way to the coach. As previously mentioned, I was using the Busbud app, so I just showed it to the driver and I was on. Easy. Alright mate, just using the Busbud app, that's okay.
London Brighton.
Cheers fine. Mate. I hadn't booked a seat this time round, so I headed for the emergency road just in front of the toilet. We reversed off stand at exactly 10 o'clock, by which time a few more people had turned up. I counted a grand total of 14, but yeah, still a very quiet service this morning.
By booking directly with us online at nationalexpress.com.
The safety and information message was played, and after emerging from the confines of the coach station, we turned right past the front of the building and headed towards the Thames. It always feels a bit posh around here, I think. Well, apart from the coach station area, but yeah, I don't think riffraff like me can afford to buy a house. Not that I'd want to, particularly, to be honest. We reached the Thames, passing Albert Bridge, the Battersea Bridge, and then many houseboats moored up in the mud in the low tidal conditions this morning. These are much more my type of house, by the way. Yeah, I would love to live in one of these. And traffic wasn't too bad for this fairly grey Monday morning. By 10:20 we'd made it as far as the A4. But why, on this London to Brighton service, were we heading west? Well, okay, let me explain. Now, London to Brighton is approximately 50 odd miles, and about an hour and a half's drive on a good day, and they're pretty much being in a straight line from north to south. However, our coach today would first be calling at London Heathrow Terminal 2, and then London Heathrow Terminal 5. Then after that, it's down to Gatwick to stop at the North Terminal and then the South Terminal. Yeah, this adds an additional 35 miles onto the journey. So for me, rather than Londoners heading down to the coast for a day at the seaside in this glorious British summer, the service was more about people getting to the airports from central London, well, Heathrow anyway, and then getting from the airports to the south coast. Otherwise, it just doesn't seem to make much sense to do the whole 3-hour plus journey, does it? Anyway, according to my theory, there would be a massive queue at Heathrow Central bus station waiting to get on board, so I decided to anticipate this busy coach scenario and have a look at the seat while I still could. And now, the emergency exit road does have the best seats on the coach, bar 2A. They're not bookable, so I would advise getting to the front of the queue to board if you can, and heading straight for them. And yeah, it was up to the usual National Express standard. Double working USB ports on the seat backs. Flip down table, a little bit grubby this, to be honest. But yeah, underneath that was a pouch for all your belongings. A great leg room being the emergency row, and note there were no footrests. By the way, no comments about my socks please, this isn't a fashion channel. Really, there were no surprises with this seat. It was comfortable and clean, as was the floor. And nicely cushioned, and you've got 3-point seat belts. Don't forget they must be worn at all times. Retractable armrests and a recline lever, which, yeah, even for this row with the toilet behind, was fairly decent. And above your head are the usual twin air vents and reading lights, which were understandably switched off for the duration of this daytime journey. Approaching the first of our airport terminals today, we reached the Welcome to Heathrow sign, sponsored by Emirates it would seem, and shortly after that we do indeed come to the iconic Emirates roundabout with its mini A380. Now I can't help thinking this should be British Airways here really, shouldn't it, with it, you know, being the UK and all that, and with BA being the national flag carrier. I know it's not Terminal 5, but even so. Now look at this, right, Turkish Airlines have got a massive display up too. Come on BA, get your money out, sponsor a couple of flower beds or something, it's not hard, is it? We reached Heathrow Central bus station at 10:45, 15 minutes ahead of schedule and just 45 minutes away from central London. A viable alternative to the tube this is if you're flying from T2 or T3. We left on time with not one person leaving the coach. So yeah, because of this, I was beginning to doubt my earlier theory. And mind you, around 10 people had boarded, so yeah, I guess it was partly beginning to make sense. Ah, there's an advert for BA, just round the back of the bus station. Great. And next up was London Heathrow Terminal 5 at 11:15. To reach this area of the airport, we travelled along fairly close to the northern perimeter, and because aircraft were departing from runway 09R, I safely swapped seats for a minute to catch a couple taking off. We were a few minutes early, but again, no one got off. Okay, I think the 1 hour and 15 minutes from London is probably a bit too long compared to the tube and yeah, definitely the Heathrow Express, so I'm less surprised about this one. And if you are waiting for a bus, a coach or a taxi, the pickup area on the ground floor of Terminal 5 underneath the multi-storey car park really is a dismal place to wait. It is like the Birmingham New Street of onward travel departure points, truly horrible. Anyway, a further 5 people put up with it and got on the coach. Now, leaving London Heathrow at 11:15, we are at this point effectively 2 hours away from our final destination. But maybe catching a coach from here does make a little bit more sense for some, because if you're heading into London by train, and then you've got to negotiate the tube, and then you've got to catch another train towards Brighton, well, yeah, you're probably looking at a similar duration in time. And of course, if you've got loads of luggage with you, it's a real pain changing trains, isn't it? So yeah, this is where, depending on the destination, coach travel might well have the edge. It certainly works for this route, and yeah, if you're able to book it in advance, it'll likely be better on price too. And I decided it was time to go and check out the toilet, which was handily placed right behind me. Yeah, it was clean, everything worked, and it was fully stocked. Now, I've travelled on a few National Express services lately, and I must say, the toilets have been, in my recent experience, consistently good. Well done, National Express. The driver announced every stop as we approached. He was pretty good actually, a cheerful greeting back in London and a friendly demeanour overall. Now, looking at the coach tracker, we were going to be arriving into London Gatwick a little bit late, and of course it had started raining. Now, I tried out the Wi-Fi, which took a while to get going, but if you've got a bit of patience it should work fine. YouTube loaded up and played okay. X, formerly known as Twitter, was also good and worked well. And we arrived into Gatwick North Terminal at 12:10, only 5 minutes behind schedule, and mainly due to the world's biggest car park on the M25 a little earlier on. And to my astonishment, about half a dozen people got off, including 1 or 2 that had boarded at London Heathrow. So yeah, maybe transiting between the 2 London airports is a thing. It was then on to Gatwick South Terminal, where 1 person got off and 3 people got on. So, after a grand total of 4 airport terminals, we'd still managed to leave Gatwick South on time, passing a Vueling A321 flying in from Barcelona, and barring a stop at Hickstead half an hour away. That was it now, under an hour to go until Brighton, and about a dozen people left on the coach. Right then guys, so yeah, we are about 45 minutes away from our final destination, Brighton, and about a dozen passengers left on the coach at this point. Hardly anybody getting on at London Gatwick, but yeah, at the moment a very pleasant journey, albeit quite a long one, but we'll enjoy a few more reviews as we make our way south. Well, we didn't actually stop in Hickstead, we just carried on down the A23. I'm assuming the driver knew no one was alighting or boarding on this particular occasion. So here we were in Brighton, where we had potentially 6 stops, starting at Patcham, where 1 person got off, Withdean Park, didn't stop there, Preston Park, someone else departed, Preston Circus, didn't stop, and York Place St Peter Church, where quite a few alighted before we headed on to our final stop, Poole Valley Coach Station. Yeah, and I must say, our arrival into Brighton was quite impressive, even on a day like this. We passed the Royal Pavilion here on our right, which is absolutely stunning, isn't it? And for this alone, I think it's well worth staying on the coach until the very end. It's only another few minutes down the road, and yeah, to reach the coach station itself, our vehicle has to squeeze down this narrow street, finally ending up in, well, something that looks more like some kind of yard really, with a few coach bays. I mean, it doesn't really look like a bus terminal or a coach station. There's no waiting room or anything like that, but it is a fantastic location, just a stone's throw from the seafront and the pier. Price I paid for this 3¼ hour journey down south using the Busbud app was just £13.34. Well, I disembarked and did indeed have a quick wander over to the windy promenade before retreating back into town, where I just took a couple of minutes to sum up the journey as best I could. Right then guys, 3 hours and 15 minutes later, I am down here in Brighton. Yeah, the weather, British summertime, isn't it? It started to go off a little bit, and as you could see when I was down at the seafront, it was a little bit blowy, so I decided to come inland a little bit and sit out here by the Royal Pavilion having a picnic. So, yeah, what did you think of that? Honestly, all the theories I had about this service for people using it to get to the airport or from the airports to the south coast, they were pretty much blown out of the water, because there wasn't that many people on the coach, and most people didn't actually get on or off at the places I thought they would. But yeah, if you could make it make sense to me, then please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget guys, have a look at the Busbud app, download it onto your phone, tablet or whatever. It is really easy to compare operators, services and times for all the buses, coaches in this country, in the UK and beyond. And of course, when you click through make a booking, you can earn loyalty reward points as you go. Right, thank you very much for watching. I shall catch you on another adventure soon, I'm sure. And until then guys, goodbye.